Hey, what's up, Silver Stackers? Thank you for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. When it comes to the silver shortage, we have 4 options to try to help boost production. Because, like David Morgan said, anyone who thinks we have enough silver for this new Green New Deal for the entire world to go green is a dreamer. It's not realistic. Damn near impossible. But there are 4 options to boost silver production. One is mining innovation, learning how to dig silver up out of the Earth's crust at a faster, more efficient rate. But we know silver is a byproduct and it's not easy to find silver. We only find silver when we're looking for gold, lead, or zinc. Plus, most silver is thrown away since it's used in technology, where gold is used for jewelry, coins, bars, necklaces. Silver is used in laptops and electric vehicles and solar panels. So that silver is thrown away. Which leads me to my second option, which is recycling. Recycling all that silver that's thrown away in those laptops and solar panels and circuit boards and yada yada. That could be a very realistic case. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video, is what scientists just discovered. The third option would be kicking down our door and stealing our silver. I mean, that's honestly not that crazy of an idea because governments have done it before with gold. When countries in war or economic turmoil, time and time again, government has confiscated the people's gold because gold is what backs that country, in terms of wealth. So that's not that crazy to think about. If they did it for situations like that previously, like the Executive Order 6102, where FDR stated, turn in all your gold or you're going to pay a $10,000 fine, 10 years imprisonment, or both. I mean, that was for the country to be backed by wealth. But what about the entire world's health, right? If we need silver to build the solar panels in these EVs, so the government could easily say, turn in your silver and help save the planet, right? It sounds crazy, but we're living in crazy times. And once the industry side of things realizes or there's no way to meet this demand, they'll probably take very drastic measures. So that's another opportunity, or another option at least. The fourth would be space mining. Space mining. There actually is an asteroid called 16 Psyche, which is headed towards Earth. I think it's in Earth's orbit around 2026. NASA already sent out a rover this year to go check out this asteroid. They say it has up to $500 quintillion worth of precious metals. Gold, silver, everything. Now, it's not the point of if we'll be able to mine this asteroid within 4 years. That's highly unlikely. The point is that they're starting to even think about it, to even just tap into those waters of possibly space mining. So those are the 4 different things: mining innovation, recycling, kicking down our front door, or space mining. So, since we have 4 of those, I think the most realistic right now would be recycling and mining innovation. But the third option wouldn't be that crazy. I'm serious. I mean, I made a video all the times where governments have confiscated the people's gold, and it goes back history. I went over 10 to 15 different situations throughout history. Usually they'll buy it back from you. Sometimes they don't. Now, obviously nowadays they would at a set price. I think with the Executive Order 6102, it was like $35, something like that. But regardless, don't leave that. It's not like they're going to kick in your door. They would put out something and say you have to turn it in. And if you don't, then you would get in trouble. Which, by the way, $10,000 back in back in 1930, $10,000, that's like what, $250,000 today, probably more. So we would pay a hefty fine. Would you turn your silver in if the law got passed that said you had to? Would you? Let me know. Or maybe don't answer that don't answer that question. But anyways, yeah, let's look at recycling, because that is a big one. We know they're trying to cut down the amount of silver that we use in these industrial applications. For example, like in electric vehicles, like 50 to 58 grams of silver right now. They're trying to cut it down to like 25 grams. Maybe the amount of silver used in solar panels will try to cut back. But a lot of these solar panels, their half-life is very, very short. So you know, the solar panels last 5, 10 years, just like windmills. And then all that silver that's used in that current solar panel gets thrown away. And then it's more silver is used in another solar panel, which is going to, so maybe if we learn how to recycle the silver from the solar panel and replace it with the new solar panel, that extra amount of silver wouldn't be needed. And that's kind of where we're headed. Check this out. Research group licenses method of precious metals recovery. The printed circuit boards found in PCs that have reached their end of life are among the most promising sources of gold and silver. We need to do everything we can to make it easier and cheaper to recover these critical minerals and enable manufacturers to reuse them. Kind of like what I was just saying. Imagine an EV, once the EV is at its the end of its life, or the solar panel, or the 5G tower, it gets replaced with a new one, but they reuse the same silver that from that solar panel that's about to be thrown away, never to be recycled, right? So that means that could be a huge plus in production. We know demand. I can't even imagine what the demand would be by the year like 2030, how many billions of ounces we would need. We exceeded over 1 billion ounces this year, right? 1 billion ounces. Production is right 850, 900 million ounces. And I just don't see how we'll be able to keep up with the never-ending demand of production that we're going to need. I made a video the other day, and in the article of that video is saying, I think solar panel demand is boosting like 20% each year, something along those lines. Like the amount of silver we'll need by then with that amount of solar panels, plus every automobile company by the year 2030 is going to be in electric. So that also with solar panels increasing X amount of percent each year, plus 5G towers, plus silver lithium ion batteries, plus everything else, so on and so forth, even scientists discovering new uses for silver every single year. It's just something is going to have to change, or we're going to get a very hard slap in the face. And I do think that slap in the face will come, and that is when silver's true value will come out. But regardless, the point of this video is that they are starting to figure out ways. And I think, like that paragraph even said, they're looking for the important elements, silver more so than gold. But it says it right here. Where was that part at? So the printed circuit boards found in PCs that have reached their end of life are among the most promising sources of gold and silver. And that's a lot of, that's a very, I'm sure there's plenty of circuit boards to go around. It's not like that's a very scarce type of thing to get your hands on. So we need to do everything we can to make it easier and cheaper to recover these critical minerals and enable manufacturers to reuse them. See, it's looking like they're understanding the critical side of things in terms of silver, and more so than gold. They probably just meant silver, since gold is, there's not a supply deficit of gold. Gold is very easy to recycle since it's mainly used for coins and bars and jewelry and necklaces and earrings. That all those coins and earrings and all that jewelry gets remelted and recycled and rescrapped and reused into more coins and jewelry and necklaces. And that's because it's profitable to do so, and since it's mainly used for that stuff, it's always going to be melted back into more. Where silver, that ounce of silver that gets dug up is thrown away in some landfill, within a couple decades, where that ounce of gold that gets dug up is staying in circulation for a century. So it's probably more so silver. They just said gold with it. So, that's pretty obvious that they're talking about silver. They're starting to find ways to recycle silver and like they said, enable manufacturers to reuse them. So the press release noted that the details of the innovation, including both of the hardware setup and the process, are subject of a pending patent and are confidential. It's funny how it's confidential right now. I don't feel like it will be forever, but all proprietary process advantages make it more cost-effective to recover precious metals from various electronic wastes destined for landfill. The IP has been exclusively licensed to this Phoenix LLC, press release stated, which is the industry partner on the project. So, and actually, let's read more of this. So, a public-private research group established by the United States Department of Energy granted a technology license for a way to use gas-assisted solvents to extract precious metals from used electronics more easily. The Remade Institute funded a research and development project at Virginia Tech called Low Concentration Metal Recovery from Complex Streams using Gas-Assisted Microflow Solvent Extraction, beginning in 2020. And it's funny, it started in 2020 because that's right when the silver shortage really caught the public's eye, to some degree at least, according to a press release. So an assistant professor in the Department of Mining and Minerals Engineering, Aaron Noble, an associate professor in the same department, the research is ongoing. Zhang said the research aims to make it easier and more cost-effective to recover precious metals from personal computers. And then that goes into what we talked about. So yeah, interesting stuff. I do think, and I've said this before, I think we're going to start to see more companies taking the recycling, even more so than mining. I mean, it's probably easier to recycle or find an efficient way to recycle than learning how to and where to dig up silver, especially since mining companies have no motivation to dig up silver if the price is this low, especially since it is a byproduct and it is getting harder to find silver. Why not just recycle the silver we've already dug up, especially since that would also help with waste and you know, the waste management. So it makes sense. What do you think, though? Do you think that we're going to figure out a way to be able to replenish all this silver and help the demand, where the supply and demand, I guess that principle might start to even out and there won't be as much of a silver shortage? What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, if you do want a chance to get some Britannias or Krugerrands at only $4.50 over spot, send an email to info@milesfranklin.com. You can also buy any other type of silver from them. Let them, ask them what's in stock. Great company. CEO Andy Sheckman, he's an amazing guy. That's the company that filled that $50 million order from that billionaire from Texas. They filled the order in 2 days. Let them know Silver Slayer sent you. They will be happy to hear it, and I'm sure you'll have a great time working with them. And that's a direct source. I feel like it can definitely be beneficial to build a relationship with someone like them as opposed to just a normal site where you don't know who's filling the order behind the screen. And plus, he filled 900,000 eagles, over 100,000 ounces of junk and gold within 2 days. And no other company can do that. He has very, very good, strong connections within the industry, and I think that can be beneficial to you as well. So anyways, yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up here. The link to this article will be in the description. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this as well. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.